Hey coaches, we got a short but really good video. Got Matt Mumme back, and I asked him this question. We got a high school coach, and he's dreaming about moving to the college ranks and coaching college ball. How do you do it? And Matt gives the best advice I've ever heard as far as step by step. Here's how. Number one, it's the best time ever to try to make the jump, and he tells you exactly how to do it. And Matt, I don't think Matt coached high school ball, but he's coached every level. He's coached D3, D2, one double A, and now Division One. So he has a pretty good grasp of the landscape, and he gives some excellent advice. Before we get to him. Hit the like button. For some reason, YouTube, it does something good for YouTube and helps get the video out. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. All right, man. Uh, you got your typical 35-year-old. He's the head coach at a high school. He's a hot shot, but he's got a dream of coaching college ball. Give him some tips. How do you make the transition from being a high school coach to getting into the college world?
This is when you sent this one to me, I was like, oh my gosh, how do I not, piss some people off on this one or whatnot? But
Crush them. Thought
the,
you were
the
gonna
number
crush
one
them.
thing is like, okay, is he married? What does the wife want? What keeps the family happy? I always tell young guys like about the coaching profession. I'm like, look, if your love of the game is, you're passionate about it, you want to coach it, you love teaching young men, but you don't want to move around a lot, then try to stay in the high school game. If you're good and you want to be like military life and you want to bounce to 9 states like I've done and 16 moves and be a lot of unique, crazy, cool places, then maybe college is for you. And I'll be honest, like, everybody wants to talk about, oh, it's so hard to get into each level. Well, they're making it easier to get in. They're not limiting us to coaches. I mean, after the whole bowl game, we came back home. Coach Norvell hired, 8, 9, 10 more guys. I mean, we're double coaches in offices now that we're only used to seeing one coach. So, I mean, it's fun because you're putting more minds in there. You're putting more people that have seen stuff. The other thing you're doing is you're simplifying the game down to where we don't spend absurd hours in the office because one guy's doing so much work, right? I think it's just really comes down to a preference of, God bless my wife because she's from Kentucky, never thought she'd leave the state of Kentucky, and she's been to 8 states and all these moves. And so, but we've met some amazing people. It's been such a unique experience. I've been so blessed to coach an amazing game and young men and been around so many great coaches and so many great people. And so really it's more about what is the risk you're willing to take to go do it. Cause it is in a day and age, I mean, high school guys are getting hired to be D1 head coaches. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. And so if that's the path you want to go, then set your eyes on it and go for it. Network as much as you can. That's never changed, right? You got to find ways to get your foot in the door, but don't be afraid to go take an analyst job. We got some great coaches. Mike Goff's one of our analyst guys, assistant O-line coach, played in the NFL for a long time, coached O-line at San Diego State. He's been a few other places, Western Kentucky. He is a great football coach. And he does a great job for us. And there he is, just being the assistant O-line guy and waiting for his next opportunity. So the opportunities are more so there than they've ever been, I believe.
Well, that's great news. Now, to be just to concrete it up. So, number one, you got to get your wife on board because high school guys, you're gonna move in a state. College guys, you're gonna move across the country. All right, and then and there's opportunities are there more than ever. How talk about networking? What's the typical guy do? He didn't play D1 ball. He doesn't have those connections. What does he do? You go to the spring clinic and start meeting the guys on staff. What do you do?
I think that's it. I think it's clinics, camps, anytime you can find a way to get your foot in the door. And don't here's the deal. Like most coaches, I know, especially, especially the head coaches. I mean, they're not always going to walk around and search people out, but most of these guys are good guys. They'll talk to you if you walk up to them, introduce yourself, tell them, hey, if any opportunity arises, I'd love to be a part of what you got going on here, and that's sometimes that's getting out of people's comfort zones, right? And I know, just from my past, I mean, just, obviously all the things my dad had done, I wish earlier in my career that I had networked more. I think because I was so laser focused coming out of high school, I was like, I only want to play for my dad. It didn't matter who else offered me. It wouldn't have mattered if Texas had offered me. I still was going to play for my dad at Valdosta State. Now I went on to Kentucky, but I was not a Division I football player. I was a D2 football player, but that's, I knew I wanted to play for him. I knew I wanted to coach for him because I knew this was the system I wanted to do. There's a lot of good systems out there. There's a lot of good football out there, especially at every level. Just don't be afraid to just take a chance and go do it.
Awesome.